Social media is a staple of modern civilization. In a study done by Carolyn Son of Entrepreneur magazine, the average American spends 2 hours a day on social media sites and will end up spending 5 years of their life on these sites. Even though they help connect individuals around the world, they still cause many problems for society. Pew Research Center in 2015 found that 65% of adults have social media accounts. Obviously, this amount of time spent on any activity leads to a cataclysm of influence, either for the good or the bad. After viewing the pros and cons, I can say that social media is an unnecessary toxin that we subject ourselves to. From the psychological turmoil to the unwarranted drama, social media causes too much harm to be entertained. Firstly, social media has a tendency to mess with the psyche of the average user. This is caused by constant comparing and public pleasing people fall into on these sites. Dr. Chow and Dr. Edge of Mary Ann Liebert Incorporation found that people who frequent Facebook regularly believe other people's lives are better than theirs. Social media causes people to subject themselves to self-esteem issues and depression. New York Behavioral Health quoted a study by Dr. Justin Feinstein, which showed people who use social media have a higher likelihood of developing depression. Social media is not just a fun pastime, but also a Trojan horse for psychological turmoil. Social media may also negatively affect relationships and necessary tasks. If the average person spends 2 hours a day on these sites, time is taken away from family, friends, exercise, studying, and paperwork. In a study done by Lindsay Goldwert of New York Daily News, she found a third of all divorce filings include Facebook as a reason for the split up. The obvious neglect of the other person could have been partially avoided if there was more time devoted to that person. On another note, people do not find time in their busy lives to exercise, even though 2 hours of their day are taken away by mindless entertainment. Ryan Jeslow of CBS News reported on a survey in 2013 that stated only 20% of U.S. adults exercise every week. These people reasons varied as to why they did not exercise, but an obvious lack of willpower and hours of social media are two causes for the lack of discipline in these people's lives. Social media is a pastime that should not be taken lightly. There are healthy ways to not allow its influence to take a hold of you by responsibly limiting one's time on such sites as Facebook and Instagram. But most people won't relax and they won't realize their responsibility with these sites. Those who are able to self-evaluate, I would suggest staying as far away from these sites and these psychological death traps and hone your newfound time on improving your relationships, your body, and work ethic. Problems tend to go away when social media isn't there to reinforce them.